So we're going to talk a little bit about the male pelvic floor today, how to do pelvic floor exercises if you're male. So I'll hand you over to Beth. Beth, can you tell us a little bit about the male pelvic floor, please?
Yeah, so like women, men do have a pelvic floor. We perhaps think less about that because they maybe they don't give birth to children, so that tends to be what we think about, particularly with the pelvic floor, but there is one there. So how do we find those muscles? Well, those muscles are similar to women because they wrap around the back passage and the penis and the scrotum, and sit at the floor of the pelvis, sort of in a bowl sense, a little bit like a sling between the sitting bones, and provide a trampoline of support. Like in women, they have a role, a supportive role. They play a role in sexual function, and then they also help control our bladder and bowels and prevent leakage, and also enable us to empty our bladder and bowels. So they're really key. So if we think how you might try to start thinking about tightening those muscles, if you think about your back passage and where that is, and think about holding or stopping yourself passing wind, and then drawing those muscles up towards the front, as if you're lifting your scrotum or your testicles, or stopping yourself passing water then at the same time. So you're kind of almost like you're coming from the back up towards the front, and that's how you switch those muscles on. And then we do a combination of longer holds, where you're holding those muscles then on for a period of time, up to about 10 seconds, relaxing in between, and then repeating that. And then also some quick, powerful squeezes, where you squeeze as hard as you can, let go almost immediately, and again build those up to a number of repetitions until you're feeling a degree of effort or fatigue with those exercises.
Are there any risk factors for men developing sort of weakened pelvic floor muscles?
So yeah, there are things like if you've had surgery, so prostate surgery, radiation therapy for cancer, if our fitness levels are quite low, if we have a higher BMI, these are all factors. If we have a history of chronic constipation, because that can affect your pelvic floor quite a bit. Perhaps if we did an awful lot of repetitive heavy lifting, but then certain medical conditions such as diabetes, stroke, can also cause or be associated with issues, and also kind of repetitive activities up to a point. So we may see that people such as cyclists who do a lot of cycling can develop some issues with the pelvic floor associated with that as well. So there are sort of a number of common disorders of the pelvic that would affect the pelvic floor for men. Those can include incontinence, so either urinary incontinence or bowel or fecal incontinence at times. Problems associated with sexual dysfunction, so that can be pain with ejaculation or afterwards, perhaps also erectile dysfunction or premature ejaculation, and then thinking a bit more about something called persistent pelvic pain. So there's a number of conditions that can lead to pain which goes on for a long time. We've done another video around that, which you might want to watch as well. But that can affect sometimes quite often our pelvic floor, but sometimes also our bladder and bowel as well, whereby those muscles stop to work as effectively and sometimes become overactive, and that can sort of perpetuate problems over time. And physio can help guide you and help overcome, hopefully, or manage quite a number of these symptoms.